Hey yo, what's up guys, it's your Dadscap and welcome to Market Pulse, your weekly deep dive into the CS2 economy. This week the player count continues its steady climb, rising 3.25% to an impressive 1.8 million players. The sustained growth shows persistent interest, signaling positive momentum for the market. The market cap, however, paints a more cautious picture. It's dipped slightly by a half percentage point, settling around $4.37 billion, and though declining from the all-time highs set about a month ago, the downturn is slowing, suggesting the market might be stabilizing and entering a period of stagnation. The 301 index, aka the liquid index, went up slightly this week by just 0.1%. This modest recovery signals cautious optimism within high-volume trading circles. The rookies, the low-tier index is mirroring the broader market once again and barely budged, gaining only 0.02%. This indicates a relatively flat demand for budget-friendly skins, aligning closely with the market's overall stagnant trend. Mid-tier skins manage a bit more traction, up by about almost a full percentage point, outperforming both the general market and the low-tier skins. This uptick might hint at players shifting focus toward mid-range value plays during uncertain market conditions. But interestingly, high-tier skins managed to post a solid gain of 1.04%, outperforming all other skin categories. This divergence clearly signals sustained interest and possibly speculative activity among higher-end items. Knives are making a little bit of a comeback this week, up by about 1.53%, suggesting a renewed enthusiasm in this segment. Gloves saw a modest recovery at 0.2%, but significantly lagged behind knives. Agents gained some momentum, climbing by 2%, indicating a robust interest in character cosmetics. However, though, charms plummeted by 11%. Holy clearly indicating waning interest or potential oversupply issues. I'll go into the details later on in the video, don't worry about it. But moving on to the cases index, the 2016 to 2019 cases saw a noticeable dip of almost 2% this week, whereas the 2020 to 2022 cases showed more minor losses at 0.63%. But overall, the entire case market is still slightly down, though showing signs of a possible recovery. The market pulse this week is therefore testing the waters. Caution is advised. Right now, the market is stagnating. It could go up or down. This is more of a feel than anything based in reality. In my opinion, it all depends on how well the armory performs in terms not only of prices, but also of return on investment. It also depends on how well the fever case is integrated into the market. Speaking of cases, welcome to Case Crackdown, where we break down the happenings in the case market over the past week. This week, 8.1 million cases were opened, a significant move up from the 7.5 million from last week. There is a renewed interest in opening cases after the sharp decline from 2 weeks ago. Most of that demand was obviously concentrated in the active cases, with over 5.1 million active cases opened this week, then followed by the rare cases, which saw its number of cases opened remain pretty much flat at almost 1.8 million, then followed by the purchasable cases at 1.1 million, and finally discontinued cases at 30,000 and just chilling. The top purchasable case this week, and this might be for the last week ever, was the gallery case, with almost 800,000 open, which is an increase of 2.7% its weekly average, but a decline of almost 17% from Friday last week. The top active case was once again the Revolution case at 1.2 million opened. Wow, sérieusement? An increase of 10% its weekly average and 16% from Friday last week, showing an increased interest in the case, at least in the short term. The number one rare drop was the Snakebite case, with just over 200,000 open this week, an increase of 11% its weekly average, but a decline of 15% from last week specifically. And of course, once again, the GOAT, the most liquid case, was the Fracture case, this poor case, with an increase again in its market listings to just under 500,000, wow, and a decrease in its openings number of 9% from Friday last week. The case with the most potential is the Spectrum 2 case, which is surprising when you look at the percentage values, but the case market pretty much remained super flat, and so this is normal to see that the case with the most potential in a week has such poor numbers to show. Speaking of poor numbers, obviously the Fracture case is having probably the worst week of his life, continuing its horrendous downtrend if we look at the percentage values, but while the dollar value loss is only of 2 cents. And as for the Dadscap pick of the week, I've decided to go with the Fever case, which isn't really anything investing related. I doubt that the Fever case is going to be a good investment in the short to medium term, but damn, it's a new case, should probably give it a try. It's only 63 cents, and maybe you're gonna open a Ruby or a Sapphire, who knows. If you're enjoying the recap, obviously don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell in the face, but also don't forget to leave a comment. Hey, we give financial advice here. Welcome to winners and losers, starting off with the cases winners of this week, which have mainly been cases with chroma knives, so Doppler, Marble Fade, Tiger Tooth, all that good stuff. This is due to the renewed interest from the Fever Cases chroma knives' release. Players seem eager to get their hands on these chroma finishes, suggesting some anticipation or speculative activity around these items, especially as the Fever Case didn't re-release older knives. Yeah, no, they released shadowed web knives like the Skeleton, the Nomad, the Paracord, I'm pretty sure. It's very possible that we would have seen no gain at all this week had the Fever Case not been released. As for the losers, the Fracture, Recoil, and Gallery case experienced significant downturns affected by reduced appeal due to the newer, more enticing Fever Cases release, especially for the Fracture case, which has worse knives, the same skins but on worse weapons, and yeah, I don't think the future is looking good for the Fracture case. Like for real guys, if you missed the times where cases cost 3 cents, well the Fracture case is gonna give you an opportunity to buy these prices soon, I swear to god. Guys, what the fuck? I have no idea what happened to the AK-47 Leet Museo, but like it literally invaded the rankings this week. I have no idea what happened. Bro, I even asked fucking Grok, bro, and I swear to god, bro, the AI went through 56 sources on the internet, spent 5 minutes thinking, kept me waiting for 5 minutes, and literally said like, I don't fucking, like what? So yeah, if you guys know what happened, I mean, I know you don't. Nobody's talking about it. Can somebody see this case? Okay, so I understand it's a discontinued case, but like shit, bro, come on. Don't be crazy. Anyway, moving on to the losers, the Alp Crackdown, field tested and minimal wear, they almost did the same thing. But yeah, the Alp Crackdown, field tested and minimal wear, which are both down on average 20%. And this is mainly due to the fact that every single fucking skin in the armory, which have been the target of like money laundering by the Russian government, you think I'm joking? I'm not. And so the market is saturated with these skins, which obviously has crashed the prices pretty bad. But this is just speculation. Moving on to the knives winners of the week, and honestly I don't have much to say, this just seems like normal market behavior. These are very attractive looking, very popular knives. Oh, and by the way, this is a good sign for the market short term. We expect this kind of behavior. Like this is exactly the kind of signals you want to see to identify a potential coming bull market. And as for the losers, well, this is difficult to actually pinpoint an actual reason for why these knives specifically went down, apart from the fact that these have an above average volatility, mainly due to the fact that the gut knives and the paracord knives are generally considered as relatively undesirable compared to other knives in their respective cases. And for the gloves winners, it would be pretty easy to consider this normal market behavior and just dismiss it. There's actually a little bit of a pattern in there, and so let's analyze it. These 3 gloves are conventionally desirable gloves, especially at low floats where the lack of scratch is really noticeable. You'll also notice that each of them clearly has a flashy color that's like dominating the entirety of the glove's design. It's almost the only color. And so this could be an indication of an increased interest in combos, for example knives, play skins, etc., featuring these specific colors. And so if this trend maintains, it will be interesting to see if flashy play skins of a similar color as these gloves will actually follow the trend at the same strength as the gloves. But an analysis of this depth goes beyond the scope of the market recap, and so let's move on finally to the gloves losers, which are somewhat volatile gloves, prone to sharp increase and decrease in price, especially the Hydra gloves case hardened and its different patterns. But overall, this screen to me just screams normal fluctuations. Welcome to ROI Radar, where we're looking for money printer hidden in the armory or the in-game store. Starting off with the perfect world capsule number 1. This is the first time that we see that one in ROI Radar, which doesn't bode well for like ROI in general, goddamn. And yeah, as you can see, with a cost of $1 and an unboxing ROI of 78%, the odds of profit are of 28%, and the expected value is 78 cents, so a 22 cents loss. The best item is the fancy koi foil at $69 at $6.96, good one. Moving on to the second best item in the in-game store, which is the Feral Predators capsule, with an unboxing ROI of 80%, odds of profit 27%, and the expected value is 80 cents. The best item is the First Blood paper, not even hollow paper, at $3.57. And finally, the best item in the in-game store is the Boardroom capsule, with an unboxing ROI of 82%, the odds of profit are 19%, and the expected value is 82 cents, so 18 cents loss. The best item is obviously the Infinite Diamond Holo at $5.49. Moving on to the armory, the best charms collection was the Missing Link charms, with an unboxing ROI of 76%, the odds of profit are 12%, and the expected value is 82 cents, so 18 cents loss. Yeah, don't open it. The best item is obviously the Hot House model at $50 flat. The second best collection in the armory is the Sport and Field collection, with an unboxing ROI of 89%, wow, odds of profit are 7%, and expected value is $1.42, and so again, an 18-cent loss. The best item is the M4A1S Fade at $566. And finally, the best collection in the armory is the Elemental Craft collection, with an unboxing ROI of 91%, the odds of profit are 20%, and the expected value is 36 cents. So a 4 cents loss, not a single winner this week. The best item is the Ruby Wave, I'm never pronouncing that, at $9.17. Thank you for watching, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ooh.